So what we have here today is the new Fender Standard. Now this is their new entry line model, and I'm kind of curious to check it out. I kind of fell out of Fender for a few years. I got more interested in some of the smaller brands and building and modding my own guitars and stuff. And but lately there's been a few things that Fender's been doing that's kind of piqued my interest. That spruce top telly's one of them. And then this new line, I really was curious about, because rather than ask the question, how good is this guitar, would be more like, how good would this guitar be as a potential modding guitar, right? Like, so on this channel, I do mostly modifications and maintenance and different things like that, rather than a guitar review channel. But my guitar reviews have been getting pretty decent views too, so I thought this might be a cool way to integrate both of them and analyze this guitar, see how good it is, but also what would the potential be to have this guitar as a guitar that you would buy as a bass and then maybe over time slowly modify it and get it to a different place. Or if you have an idea of a certain kind of build, would this be the right guitar for you to use as a bass model and work your way up? So that's really the question I wanted to ask today. So if that's something you're into, please give it a like, share, subscribe. I'd love to have you here. And if you have any questions at all, leave them down below, and I will do my best to answer them in a timely manner. So let's check this thing out. So this was boxed within a box. I took the secondary box off and just got down to the Fender box, so we could save a little time there, but it was packed really well that way. Open it up, you can see it is very well packaged. So this is what it looked like inside the box. It has a little compartment right here where they put all of the accessories. So we have the tremolo arm right here. It is a screw-in type. We also have a set of wrenches and a spring, an extra spring. So I did find the owner's manual down in the bottom of the bag, and I thought it was kind of odd. It had all the safety information and the vendor's website in English, but then toward the back of the manual, there's a spot where they're showing different adjustments and stuff, and I could not find any English for it. Now, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Is it just something they expect you to go online for? But there's definitely adjustments and different things on that, but it's just not in English, which I thought was kind of odd. So let me know in the comments below if I'm missing something or if that's just the way these come now. So let's get all this other crap off of here and take a look at the guitar. So we got a couple of tags here. The first one was a California prop something tag, and then we have an inspection tag. This one shows assembly, setup, finish, electronics, and final. And this guitar was built in July of 2024. It also had the foam covering the knobs. Also, they had a cellophane on the tuners, which I thought was kind of cool, because just less chance of them getting scratched up and stuff. So yeah, it had cellophane plastic wrap all over the tuners, and obviously it had all that on all the plastic and the pickups and everything. So that's what the tuners look like, nice and shiny. Looks pretty good. So I would say this was packaged really well, especially for a budget guitar. I had one come from China that was just a box with a couple pieces of cardboard in there. Here is a piece of tape covering the hole for the tremolo bar. You don't want to take this off until you're ready to put the tremolo bar in it, because there's a little spring down in there. That way you can adjust the tightness of the tremolo bar instead of having it flopping around loose like crazy, which I thought is kind of a nice touch, actually. There was no issues with the finish. There was no issues with any dings or scratches or anything like that. It was really well packaged, to be honest. I was really comfortable getting it out and seeing that there wasn't any issues with any shipping when it came to this guitar. So let's get these strings off here and take a closer look at this thing. Now, it's kind of a long video, so if I forgot something, let me know down in the comments below. But as far as I could see, I think I pretty much covered everything. So we have your gloss poly headstock with your non-locking sealed tuners. I checked to see if they were tight. Everything was tight with them. There was no play with the buttons or the gears or anything like that, so they seemed to be just fine. I didn't have any issues when I restrung it, and they tuned up really easy, and they're really good. So we have a poly finish on the front of the fretboard too, and as you can see here, there's no issues with any crap in the poly. Also, the fretwork was really nice, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of a close-up of that. It has a micarta nut, which would be plastic nut. It was cut really well, though, and there was no issues really there. Also, this insert is really, really interesting. It's a nice detail. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but it definitely looks nice there. The frets were great. The frets are nice and shiny, and you can see here that there's no issues with the fret ends. They're rounded off a little bit, and they look really, really good. So we don't have any issues there. There was no fret sprouts or anything like that either. The fretwork was great. And now let's take a look at, see how they're level. And everything was level. I didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. Yeah, the fretwork was great. I mean, it really was. I can't complain about anything about the way that thing plays or feels. We have a 9.5-inch radius at the first fret and a 9.5 radius on the last fret. So it's just your typical 9.5-inch radius. Here is the measurement at the nut. We have 42.74 millimeters. And then at the 12th fret, 52.03 millimeters. And then the neck thickness at the first fret is 22.82 millimeters. And we have the thickness at the 12th fret would be 23.61 millimeters. Now the neck pocket looked really good. It was nice and tight. I didn't see any issues there, as you can see here. Let's get this pick guard off and take a look at the cavities. The shielding paint was pretty crappy, to be honest with you. The shielding paint, especially for single coils, should be all the way up to the top of the body, so you got a good Faraday cage going. It helps with noise, and this is just slopped in there sort of thing. But it's got shielding paint, so I guess that's what they're counting on it. Here are the pickups. They are high output single coils with the ceramic magnets. I think that they look like refrigerator magnets or something. We have the 250K pots, a mechanical switch, which is really nice for these budget guitars. They normally come with small mini pots and a circuit board switch, but this one doesn't have that. It's got nice full-size pots and a mechanical switch in it, which is kind of cool. Now let's take a look at this bridge. So the bridge is really good. It's got a substantial tone block, and you can see here that it's decent size. The individual modern type of saddles, so you'll be able to adjust the intonation, have no problems with it. Like I said, it's a substantial bridge, to be honest with you. I really was surprised to see that. The knife edges didn't have any burrs or anything on that, so nothing was hanging up on the pivot point of the tremolo. And just for giggles, I thought I'd weigh it, and it weighs 293 grams, which is way heavier than some of the cheaper budget guitar bridges out there. So should have pretty good sustain, and not seeing any issues with the tremolo. Here's the cavity for the tremolo. It all looked good. There wasn't no issues there. And so the back of the cavity was fine too. I'll show you a picture of that right here. They had the right ground. It had the claw. It had all the springs right. All that was fine. It came shipped as a floating tremolo, so I immediately got rid of that. And it weighs 7 pounds, 10 ounces. And this is a poplar body. Now here's a close-up of the finish. It is a poly finish, so you don't got to worry about anything with that, to be honest. I didn't see any imperfections. I didn't see any runs or anything at all with the finish. It looked very nice. The color was nice and even, and as you can see here, it's a nice kind of off-white, so it looks good with the white pick guard. And here's a little bit more video of the belly cut and what the back and the sides look like. So the finish on this guitar was great. I didn't find any issues with the poly. I didn't see anything on any of the clear coats. The paint was nice and even. Everything looked really uniform and really well. All the routes looked good. All in all, it looked great. So here's the back of the neck, and it was a satin poly, and it looked really great. I didn't see any gunk. I didn't see any crap in the poly whatsoever. It was nice and smooth. It felt really good. And here's another closer look at it so you can kind of see what it looks like. So this is the neck profile. I tried to get a little bit of a side shot so you could kind of see how chunky it is. It's what they call a modern C. Now, it felt good, but it's substantial. And you can see here that it does have that C cut. I put in the Fender's neck profile chart just so you could kind of see where it was at with that. And it definitely does have the C shape in it. And if you're used to a thin neck, it might feel kind of big to you, but really it was comfortable to play. I didn't find any issues playing it whatsoever. I really wanted to say, if you buy a guitar online, set it up yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, pay somebody to do it. It'll save you some headache. Here, the nut was cut really well. Didn't have any issues there. The neck was a little bit too straight, but, that's all part of the setup. So I just had to put a little bit of relief in it, and that was good. Reset the action, make sure it was where I wanted it to be, and did the intonation, and it was just a little out, but it wasn't no big deal. The guitar was absolutely playable when I got it. So here's that little spring for the tremolo arm. You just put that down in where you screw it in, and then you screw the tremolo bar in, and then you can adjust how tight you want it to how much you want your whammy bar to be flopping around or whatnot. So, and that's pretty much it. The pickups did need a little bit of an adjustment too, but like I said before, that's all part of a setup, and it's something that you should do anyway. Okay, so let's run through some of the sounds for this demo. I'm running through my Synergy desktop amp with the OS module through a Cab Zeus cab sim. in the vintage C210 closed back. And yeah, let's just see what we can get for sounds out of this thing. Yeah, we're going to start on the neck pickup. So let's do the neck and the middle pickup. That's got a real nice. It's got a real nice sound to it. They're not too. I noticed with these more budget guitar friendly Strat pickups, they get a little jangly, a little bright on the high end. But this one's not bad at all, to be honest with you. So let's go to the middle pickup. Now we'll do the middle and the bridge. All right, and then finally the bridge. So that's some clean stuff. Let's turn on the tumness. This is a clone, and see what kind of dynamics we can get with this thing. See if we get anything good out of it. Let's go up to the second position, which would be the bridge in the middle pickup. Middle pickup. And finally, the neck pickup. So it's pretty responsive. I mean, you can definitely hear a difference in the pick attack and all that. And these pickups, I mean, they're pretty warm. They're really not bad for budget pickups, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're used to high-end stuff, then they're going to feel a little lackluster. But for budget pickups, as budget pickups goes, these sound pretty good. So you guys let me know what you think. But yeah. So who do I think this guitar is for? Well, if you've been playing guitar for a year or two and you have an Affinity or a Squire or something like that, and you've been making some good progress and you feel like bumping up a level with your guitar, but you don't want to pay $1,000, then I think this would be a great guitar for you. Now, if you've been playing for 20, 30 years and you're used to high-end instruments, you're probably not going to like this guitar. But it does have a lot of potential. The fretwork was really good. The neck pocket was nice and tight. Everything's solid. It has the mechanical switch in it and good pots. The pickups sound okay. I personally, that would be one of the first things I would do is swap them out. I would say also, this would be a great guitar to modify. Like, I have an idea for a build that I want to do, and I'm going to do it with this guitar. I'm going to use this one to do it with. Honestly, I kind of like this guitar, man. It's a pleasant experience to play. And, you know, like I said before, the pickups don't have that real high-end jangly sound. And I like the 9.5-inch radius. It brings me back to my first Telly that I had. I had an American Standard Telly, an 87 American Standard Telly. And it really brought me back to that a little bit. It also reminds me more of a made in Mexico Strat than it does an actual Affinity or Squire. So I think it's closer to a made in Mexico than it is to the Squire and the Affinity stuff. But that's just my opinion. So what do you think? Do you think Fender missed the mark with this and it's just another money grab? Or do you think this might actually have a little bit of potential to grow into something pretty decent? Now, I also remember when the Made in Mexicos first came out, and everybody shit all over them like crazy, you know. And now they're looked at as a more desirable guitar too. So could this be one of those things where, you know, we're just not used to seeing the new line, so we want to crap on it to the best of our ability? Or do you think that we're actually giving it a chance and Fender's just missing the mark with it? If you like this video, go ahead and like it. Leave me a comment down below. And if you're ready to, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So all that being said, thank you very much, and we will see you on the next one.